A lot of reasons. First off, they wanted to make sure that they want to get better, faster, and cheaper. They understood that the waterfall method that we are using takes too long to deliver the value that the business is asking for. Two, they wanted to improve the trust level between the business and IT. Because of that, they don't get what they want. So we spent a lot of years, between 3.5 and 4 years, from project inception to closure. And then the business decides, well, no, that's not what I wanted. Plus, business dynamics are too fast. And then DevOps, because then it's a matter of, we get better and more efficient with doing software development, and then we have to wait weeks or months to build up the infrastructure environment. And then it's just a matter of just governance. They wanted better metrics around being able to ascertain how projects within our enterprise portfolio management group is actually progressing along. We decided to select kind of a greenfield project that was primarily something that was new within the organization, and it had high visibility on the business side. And we worked with IBM to determine a decision matrix, or to create one, so that we can determine if this project or any other project was more suitable to do Agile. The assumption we've made in the past is that Agile/Scrum can be done on every project. And what we've neglected to identify is, if a product owner isn't going to be 80% to 100% involved, then why are we doing Agile when we want that product owner to be involved? We want them to be involved in a whole team, collaborative environment. And we wanted to make sure that, based on some other criteria, that the team had a very good probability of success with some additional coaching that went along the way. One challenge is I lost my executive sponsorship. My chief technology officer resigned from the company, and he was kind of our primary champion. My immediate boss at that time, she was secondary as far as being a champion. She left the company. We then ran into our funding model. We tend to want to build software development products as we do grocery stores. The fourth challenge was just our resource allocation and management. Management told me that resources aren't going to be 100% dedicated on these projects. So, and then the third one was just co-location. As I said during the presentation, we have about 1,264 IT associates. We're in a cube structure, and just trying to find location for the single pilot team to occupy was a challenge. So those were kind of the challenges that we ran into. But fortunately enough, we were able to find some workarounds to make the Agile adoption a success. One, with co-location, we took away the ping pong room from everyone else in the building, so they were really impressed upon that. But it gave us an opportunity to now put the team in a central location. The funding model, we decided, was out of scope because that was something that was going to involve getting our chief information officer, accounting representatives, as well as finance involved, and that would have took too long. Some resource allocation. What we decided to do was just make sure we understood what those allocations were for the individual resources during the sprint, with the understanding that it would change. And then we would then report that back up to senior management as we gave progress updates to them, so that as they started to see that the team was delivering value and they wanted them to go faster, we could then leverage that to say, hey, in order for us to go faster, here are the constraints that we need you to remove. And then if you can help us remove those by giving us more time of those resources, then they can do and accomplish more things. What they've realized is it helped them better determine what an e-commerce digital strategy would be. The digital application that we created for the iPhone and Android platform was developed with little to zero marketing dollars being spent. They have over 1.2 million downloads without any marketing being done on the application. And it helped lead them to, hey, if we want to get into this space, we now have the capabilities to do it. And they then subsequently approved a large dollar amount for that digital program to then go off and continue to expand and make scalable the Agile platform or framework that we developed in fiscal year 2011. I think what has happened is we used Rational Team Concert to see if there was a need for us to use a enterprise Agile project management tool. What we learned is that the team wasn't mature enough or ready to use a tool, so we went back to using Whiteboard and Microsoft Excel. And what happened subsequently within a 10 to 12 week period is that now the team sees the value of bringing an enterprise tool in, because what turned out was that the Scrum Master then became a project manager, and within the Scrum team itself, he was going around picking, hey, where are you at with this, where are you at with that, which goes against Agile best practices and tenets, but it then led itself to the team to realize, hey, we need a tool so that we can then go in on a daily basis, update our progress, and then not only the Scrum Master, but the project owner, a project manager, and then upper management can get the status reporting that they deem necessary. I think the most important thing it helped us with is we should have identified what our framework was before we then went into the team and started educating them on what it is, and then continued to improve it as they were learning it and we were learning it. That was kind of a lesson learned at the end of release 4 for the pilot project. We should have waited until we kind of baked it in and were really comfortable with it, and then trained the team on it, and then we could have spent more time coaching and mentoring them on it, as opposed to try a little of this, see how it works, try a little of that, see how it works. It really led to a lot of confusion with the team, led to a lot of unnecessary frustration. But what it also helped us understand, and the team kind of benefit from, is with the planning aspects, because what we learned is that they weren't doing the release or iteration planning that they should have been doing. And by doing that, based on the results we got back from the release retrospective, we saw that planning actually benefited the team. They saw it too, and they've been doing it without very little coaching or mentoring.
Excellent.
The metrics that we use are product owner acceptance, and that's just the number of stories that the product owner deemed and approved necessary for the upcoming release. We use velocity, release burn down, and then we also pulled in some test defect metrics, which we then identified as we needed to continuously improve that, because what we started to realize is as the release/sprints were being reported as green or going well, we then identified that the QA resource was reporting red because of some test scripts that she had written, which were planned, but half or less than 50% were actually being ran. So it led to, why is the overall release being reported as green or successful, but yet you're saying as a QA resource that I'm not able to do the testing I'd planned, and you're reporting red or bad or in areas of improvement. So we went back and we started to incorporate test scripts, planned test scripts actually ran, in addition to total number of defects, along with some earned value metrics for the project management or PMO area, cost performance index and schedule performance index. We used the two-prong approach. We wanted to make sure that we met with them on a month-to-month basis during the transformation process and gave them updates on where we're at. And we created an executive scorecard with the metrics that I talked about earlier. Secondly, within the Kroger organization, it's very difficult to get collaboration amongst all the different departments within IT. So we wanted to also show them that we were, in fact, reaching out to our BA group, PM group, enterprise architecture, infrastructure, quality assurance, and we had representatives from those groups involved in a second round of meetings as they helped us put together our Agile framework, help us identify and improve the metrics we were going to use. And then also, if team members that were part of the mobile pilot complained or had issues with what we were doing, they could then go back to their management, and the management then owned the process. It wasn't a software development process or PMO process. It was a Kroger process that they had helped us develop with executive buy-in, and then that would help kind of help their individual contributors be in a better position to kind of work with us to kind of continuously improve the process that we all started to create.